Hi everyone, welcome to Seesmic's first of many webinar series. Today we will be walking you through getting started with Seesmic Desktop. We'll be sure to take everyone's questions at the end of today's webinar. Any additional information, such as a copy of today's slides and chat transcripts, will be available at a later date, and we will be sure to email all attendees with this information. So let's get started. So what is Seesmic Desktop? It's a highly customizable social media dashboard application for you and your brand to utilize. Seesmic Desktop runs on Microsoft Silverlight, which ensures you can download and install the desktop application across Mac and PC platforms. Our desktop application runs on the latest version of Silverlight, so be sure to check the URL listed here to ensure you have the latest version installed. Seesmic Desktop also has over 70 plugins, which is growing every day. Some of the plugins that come preloaded with Seesmic Desktop application are fantastic, and we're going to actually go into the application right now and review some of the preloaded plugins that come with Seesmic Desktop. So I'm going to go to plugins. So the ones that come preloaded with Seesmic Desktop are Bing, Bitly, Facebook, Foursquare Places, Google Buzz, Google Reader, Image Previewer, URL shorteners such as is.gd, Clout plugin, the LinkedIn plugin, another URL shortener called migra.me, PingFM, Plixie, Salesforce Chatter, and we also have the translator plugin that comes preloaded with the Seesmic Desktop application, TwitLonger, TwitPic, Twitter of course, and YFrog. So, you might be asking yourself, what is a plugin exactly? A plugin can either be a service, so going back to the desktop application, it's going to be a service such as Twitter or Facebook, and here you can see that I've added my Twitter application and my Twitter account and my Facebook accounts, along with several other accounts. And once I've added these accounts, I can simply view the time limits according to my network. So here is my Sam Seesmic Twitter home timeline, and I also have my Sam Seesmic Facebook timeline already preloaded into here. So that's one of the features of a plugin. One of the definitions of a plugin. And so it either can be a service or a plugin can be a feature. And a feature can be such as the Clout Score. So it's a little add-on that kind of adds to the that reads your already set of feeds and allows you to see more content. So here you can see a Clout Score depending on the user and any of their information, correlating information. We also have another feature such as Bing Maps. If I can just pull it up here. And anytime you see any geolocation tweets, you just click on the geolocation pin, and this will populate a Bing map where you can visualize where the user is depending on where they're tweeting from. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Okay. Now that we have a sense of what Seesmic Desktop is, let's try to put this together and apply this to some cases in which Seesmic Desktop can help our users. Here we have a case of using Seesmic Desktop for a community manager. So with Seesmic Desktop, you can stay relevant and on top of your game. Every brand needs to keep an eye on the competition to see how they can improve. They also need to be aware on how other brands are approaching the same community. Here are some tips on how a community manager can get a leg up on this game. So you can set up basic Twitter searches. It's simple and easy to see real-time user-generated content about a brand. You're not just Googling information about a brand, but rather you're looking at what your users are saying about your brand. So here, a Seesmic Community Manager will go into Seesmic Desktop, and they will create searches. Where are my searches? They will create searches for events such as Google I/O. Here they'll track relevant information, engage with users at this event. It's a past event, so we can follow up with users who have any pending questions about Seesmic since we were there. And also, we use this to keep in touch with our team in case they are using our app to demo Seesmic, and in real time we can respond back to them with any solutions or just kind of generate content for them so that the users know the Seesmic community is watching and responding. You can also create searches for influencers. Here our main influencer is Loic, since he is the CEO of Seesmic and he is the founder of The Web with Geraldine, his wife. So obviously we will want to make sure that we have search terms for Loic and Seesmic so that we see content relevant not just to the influencer Loic but also relevant to Seesmic. So if we can see how he's engaging with the users, respond back to the users if they have questions mostly pertaining to Seesmic so that Loic can focus on other things, I guess you would say. So the community team can follow up and answer any questions that are Seesmic specific. And we can also, for a community manager, we'll also create searches for platforms and OS development. So here I have searches for Honeycomb, Seesmic Android, and Silverlight. What this does is that I want to be able to keep on top of my game. So what that means is that I need to know and keep up with the latest tech changes that will affect our app, our team, and our users. So any information such as Twitter, updating anything we would need to know, anything in terms of like if there's a new Android OS build, we need to make sure Seesmic application is compatible with it. And also we can look at general user feedback or general trending topics for each category as well. Okay, so as a community manager, I also want to set up my brand and online presence. Whether you're doing this for customer support, interactive marketing, PR, or even searching for influencers, Seesmic Desktop can help you manage all of this in one space. So we're going back to the basics and we're going to review setting up individual accounts. So I'm setting up individual accounts for Twitter, Facebook, and Salesforce Chatter. So I have my Twitter feed already up as I showed you before. My Facebook feed, which I'm an admin of Seesmic as well, so I can keep track of anything that was Seesmic related. And also my Salesforce Chatter. Let's see if that's up. The chatter would be right here. This is our own testing environment, so excuse it for being a little nitty-gritty. Yep. So aside from the accounts, some plugins to focus on again are Twitter, because you want to monitor and track your engagement on the Twitter, and in terms of tracking the engagement with the Twitter community. Same thing goes with Facebook. The Twitter and Facebook communities do differ a little bit. Just depends on how users like to engage with other users or which community you want to be a part of. Sometimes Twitter users are on both, sometimes they're on Twitter specifically, and sometimes Facebook users are only on Facebook as well. Then for Facebook, it's a little bit different in terms of you can also track your marketing strategies and contest opportunities, as you've seen with other brands. They do a lot of marketing efforts in terms of reaching out to the Facebook community, and you can do the same thing with Twitter. It's just that Facebook allows you to be a little bit more customizable in terms of offering contests right on your Facebook fan pages. Then we also have LinkedIn set up here, and here you can just keep track of your professional networks and keep up to date on any job opportunities or anything related to your company that might benefit your company as well. Again, just to review, we have the Cloud Score. So this allows you to prioritize reported issues and recognize key influencers. And if I see any issues that need to be reported, I can actually go into my Zendesk plugin. Create a new ticket here. And if I see that there's an issue, I can either use the Zendesk plugin, install it, and I will have an option to create a ticket on Zendesk, and this will automatically create a tweet into a Zendesk ticket. So I could I'll follow up on it later. And also, if I see something on Facebook, I can also convert it into a ticket as well, so I can follow up on it and help resolve the issue. We also have our Google Reader. So we have, let's see if it's up and running. There's a lot of content running here. my Salesforce chatter. Google Reader doesn't seem to want to be cooperating. I might be having too many feeds running at the same time, but Google Reader allows you to keep up relevant content, so any subscriptions you have already set up on your Gmail account hooked up into Google Reader, you can actually follow up and actually share within Seesmic Desktop. And then lastly, let's see if we see Seesmic here. An ideal plugin to have as a community manager for Seesmic is the translation plugin. And what this does is that I can click on the gear wheel icon and I can actually translate this item. So I can figure out what the user is saying in any language and respond back to them. Alright, so that's that's for me as a Seesmic community manager. We'll go on to the next user case. So here's an example as we go from community manager at Seesmic to community manager at Seesmic Java. Here at Seesmic, we make our own in-house brew, so it's only natural that we try to expand. So let's see how Seesmic Desktop can help with Seesmic Java rule the coffee houses, shall we? So again, we're going to use Seesmic Desktop to monitor competition. Similar to the searches set up by a community manager at Seesmic, except this time we're looking at direct competitors of Seesmic Java. It's not just about coffee, as Seesmic Java sets out to expand its food items as well, but other brands such as Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's are competitively priced, so we would need to watch this community closely. So going back to Seesmic Desktop, I already have some case examples set up here. So let me just close this. No. Alright, so again, for a community manager at Seesmic Java, they want to have the following plugins. Main ones being a Twitter account set up. So we have I'll close some of these so it's not so jarring. Let's see, Seesmic Java. So we have Seesmic Java already set up here. Here we go. So we have a Seesmic Java Twitter account. We have our Facebook account, and we also have Clout again. So again, we emphasize Clout because it's such a useful tool in order to identify key influencers and just learning more about your users based on what your target audience is and based on what type of company you are and who you're trying to target. Again, you would set up your chatter, your Salesforce chatter account, or your Yammer account, depending on what your internal company conversation software is, just to keep in touch with any internal conversations so that you're not lost within the company. And then you would set up Google Reader again to look at relevant content for your brand. In this case, it's Seesmic Java, so I would look at relevant content for anything coffee or franchise related in terms of like if I want to catch up on what our competitors are doing in terms of marketing efforts or expanding their products. You would use the translation plugin again, as I showed you before, to just provide my multi-language support and also learn about your international customers for Seesmic Java. And in this case, I would also add a geolocation app such as Foursquare or Gowalla. In this case, for Foursquare or Gowalla, what I would want to do is I want to keep track of, or rather I want to monitor users or customers that are checking in and where they're checking in, what time of day, anything that might influence our marketing strategies going on. And then I would highlight using the StockTwits plugin. So here you can see for StockTwits, you would just need to set up an account on StockTwits, but this allows you, for me, I'm Seesmic Java again, so I can look at anything related in terms of the stock market for my brand, for my own brand, or for any other brands I want to monitor. So here you can look up, I just clicked on the one for Starbucks. So if you click on the hashtags here, or the stock tweet tags here, you can get more information. You actually get a stock chart and also any related ideas associated with this corporation here. And then you can also see more information on stocktweets.com as well. I also have the USA Today plugin installed, as I need to keep up with current events and how this impacts our target audience's spending habits, and also how this impact our shipping and importing efforts for Seesmic Java. So I will look at news or money and just check anything that would be relevant, and I can also share this from multiple accounts. If I don't want to share it with Facebook or Twitter, that's fine, or if I just want to share it with myself to look at it later, or my own account so I can look at it later. And then we also have the FormSpring plugin installed, and this allows you to have a platform where you can ask and answer questions. So you can follow users that are on different social networks such as MySpace, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can engage with them and get basically free user feedback, and they can ask you questions there as well. Alright, so apologize for that. That was Eric, our friend in Zendesk. So to review, key plugins to use and why, and how to use it, excuse me. We'll be using Twitter, Facebook, and Chatter. For Twitter, you want to engage and monitor your target audience here, and you can create your own voice and persona for your brand. Facebook is about traction because everyone's on Facebook, and what this allows you to do is not just have a conversation with users, but the whole community can take part and see what everyone else is doing, and it creates a kind of unity and loyalty. For using Salesforce Chat or Yammer, this allows you to be able to keep up with all your social networks. Not only is that great, but you're able to keep up with your work as well. So Chatter and Yammer offer a great way to bridge the gap between outside and internal social networks so you can be more efficient. So there's more apps. We don't just have Seesmic Desktop. Seesmic offers more than just a desktop app for you to manage all your social networks and content. There's Seesmic Web, which is a lightweight browser-based application which works in any browser. Just log in via Twitter or sign in with your Seesmic Web account to manage and monitor your content when you are away from your desk or office. Easy to keep up with tasks as you can quickly schedule tweets from multiple Twitter accounts, keep up to speed on your replies with inline conversations, and even monitor your brand on Facebook pages, all within your browser window. We also offer Seesmic applications on the mobile platform. There's Seesmic for iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone 7. Each app offers a unique experience to manage your social networks on the go. Try out our mobile offerings today and let us know what you think. With that, that would conclude our webinar for today. Thank you very much for joining us. This is probably my first webinar, but one of just many. So again, I would like to iterate, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to contact us. We will be gearing up to take questions shortly as we go through the chat transcripts. To contact us, if you'd like to contact us on our various venues, you can contact us on Twitter, which is at the mentioned sign Seesmic, SESMIC, on our Facebook page listed here. If for any help inquiries or questions, please log a ticket within our help desk system. So this is help.seesmic.com. And any general suggestions or feedback for our team, please direct them to feedback.seesmic.com. Our team regularly monitors and updates this, so you can keep track of your features that you voted up the most, and we'll try to implement them within the next updates of your favorite Seesmic application as best as we can. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll begin momentarily for the Q&A portion of today's webinar. Thanks.